Hey guys, welcome back. Orabomb here, bringing you another one of our live deck profiles, man. Forbidden Light equals hype. I'm super excited to show you guys this deck. Zygarde GX. Once again, shout out to my buddy Pat. He gave me like the deck list and I just kind of like made small adjustments here and there to where I felt more comfortable playing it. But Zygarde GX, super duper hype card, super slept on deck, crazy slept on deck. But before we get into the video, drop a like on the video. Remember, if these videos get a bunch of likes, we'll be doing more of these live deck profiles, more of these matchups versus these new decks, maybe matchups versus some old decks too. Like we can show like updated Buzzwole, updated Glaceon, a bunch of different updated decks I want to try out as well until the set releases. So don't forget to drop a like on the video. It does show your mad support. You guys have been crazy with it. I appreciate all of you guys. So don't forget to drop that like. And yeah, answer the common question of the day being, what is a deck you feel like is super slept on in the current meta? Let me know in the comments down below. Remember, people that answer the common question down below do get a chance of winning some Ultra Prism codes, and we're going to be doing some Forbidden Light codes soon as well. So be hyped for that. But yeah, this is Zygarde GX. On Zygarde GX, we're playing a 3-of count of it. Very, very cool Pokemon. 200 HP. Its biggest issue with the card is that it's weak to grass, but Glitchxcity has been seeing a lot less play lately. So if that keeps continuing, then Zygarde might be well placed in the meta. It has 3 interesting attacks. First attack does 50 damage for a DCE, and you may attach 2 fighting energy cards from your discard pile to your Zygarde. So it has to be not strong, but basic fightings, of course. But that's a really good way to accelerate yourself. So the whole goal is to get turn 1, 2 fighting energies in discard pile, attach that DCE and attack to accelerate yourself fully. Because once you accelerate yourself fully, you have one really good attack and one vanilla attack. Being able to hit for 130 is not bad, especially since we have all these boosters: Strong Energy, Choice Band, Regirox, Diancie Prism. We'll talk about all those, but his GX attack is what's going to be the whole focus of the deck. It hits for 150. You can't read the text as Japanese unless you can read Japanese, but when you use a GX attack, you are immune from the damage done by your opponent's EX and GX Pokemon, which is pretty big. So if you can chain that GX attack, you can essentially be immune while knocking out a bunch of things. Hitting for 150 is strong. Choice Band, that's 180. 3 Regirox down, that's 210. You are knocking out a lot of stuff with this Zygarde. So we're gonna focus primarily on Zygarde. No Zolwark, no Octillery, no like what's other cards? No real like draw support Pokemon, but damage boosting Pokemon. So we'll talk about that. I found this actually the best way to play it. I was trying out with different things, and the damage boost is really huge because it does give you knockouts on just the right Pokemon. So we're gonna put these Zygardes right there. Also, sorry if the lighting's not the best. I don't really have a place to record these, so I record these downstairs where the lighting's really weird. We are going to be pairing it with 4, that's right, 4 Regirock. We're just maxing out the Regirock count. We really want to hit for as much damage as possible. Our bench is going to be used and abused by all of these damage boosting Pokemon and a Zygarde in the active. Hopefully one on the bench as well. It all depends. But being able, like, if you think about it, like, that 50 damage becomes 90 damage, which becomes 180 damage with weakness. So if you can put down all 4 while attacking with the DCE, no Choice Band included, you are knocking out things like Drampa in one hit. That's kind of crazy to me. But we do have a new buddy to join the Regirock army, Diancie Prism. Now, Diancie Prism is a 120 HP, it's not too bad. 120 HP Prism Pokemon, 2 retreat, weak to grass, all the bad. Its attack does for 3 energies does 90 and heals 30 from all your bench Pokemon, so it's not horrible, it's just hard to set up. But more importantly, its ability is Regirock ×2. Literally, your fighting type Pokemon in your the fighting type Pokemon you're attacking with in the active position does 20 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. So it's literally just Regirock, but instead of doing +10, it's +20. So if you have like all of these guys down your bench, your Zygarde's hitting for 60 extra damage, which means that your Zygarde's hitting for 110 damage without Strong Energy, without Choice Band. That's kind of crazy. We're playing some other Pokemon to go with it as well. We are playing a brand new card. This is our new Baby Buzzwole, 130 HP, which is everyone's favorite HP number, 130 HP, basic Pokemon with one interesting attack. It's mainly our way to get around the things like Shining Hoopa. Excuse me, guys. For a basic energy, you're doing 30. And if your opponent has 4 prize cards remaining, you're hitting for 90 more damage. So you have the potential of hitting for 120 for 1 energy, and you have all of these buddies that can increase you, as well as access to things like Strong Energy and Choice Band. And I'm going to keep repeating myself a lot in this video because you have no idea how cool it is that you can boost your damage up so much in this deck. Its second attack, not super useful. It does 80 damage, and you flip 2 coins, it does 20 more damage for each heads. I believe that's the attack translation. So yeah, but overall we use it for its first attack, non-GX attacker, very strong. I mean, it's pretty good. We're playing one regular Buzzwole GX, just a psychic weak Pokemon, better than being a grass weak Pokemon in some matchups like Gliscod. We can just set this up, we can spread damage all over the board, put things in range. Of course, things like Absorption is pretty strong, Knuckle Impact is strong, and we can afford to use Absorption too. We don't have to use this GX attack right away because we have ways to reuse, that's right, reuse our GX attack in this deck. Obviously, most of you already know how, but yeah. Knuckle Impact's good as well. So just a good attacker that's not grass weak. And then of course we do have our 2 Lele's just for that consistency support, all that good jazz. You know how it is. So that's going to be the Pokemon, guys. Let's go ahead and talk about some of these lovely items. These lovely items. There's nothing actually too unique about the item line, I'm not gonna lie. It's just your standard item line. We do have our 4 Ultra Ball. Oh, picked up the wrong card. 4 Ultra Ball, of course, consistency. 2 Stretcher, because we are playing a lot of Sycamore in this deck. We do want to draw a bunch. Just to get those energies in the discard pile. 2 Blowers, just, you know, Garbodor and Parallel are kind of annoying. And 1 Pal Pad. We're playing the Pal Pad to put our supporters back. There's a bunch of supporters we want to put back in the deck. We're trying to play as aggressively as possible. So having that Pal Pad around has proven to be very useful. I've tested this deck against Sylveon, and overall this deck has been performing pretty well. That Pal Pad came in clutch in the Sylveon matchup as well. So as far as the supporters, here where things gets interesting. We are playing 1 Lily, as you do in these kind of decks. I do like the Lily. Of course, we do have our 3 Sycamore. I want to be 4, but for now we're trying out 3. The biggest goal in this deck is to try to decrease something to play more draw supporters. We're playing 2 Cynthia, or 2 Ends, and I know I have like 1 Cynthia somewhere. Oh, you know what? I'm pretty sure I replaced the Cynthia with a Lily, which is not like the best, but I like the Lily a lot in this deck, so. Right now we are playing that, unless I find like a Cynthia later, which I don't think I do. This, of course, I'm miscounting cards. I don't know, somebody counted the video for me. We're playing 3 Guzma as well. Guzma's just good in general, just being able to knock out the Pokemon in this deck. That's the biggest issue with this deck, though, is trying to find space for supporters, draw supporters in particular. I have found that I've been okay without them overall, but I would like more, just for my personal preference. But the most important card in this deck is Bonnie. Bonnie is cool. So over here, Bonnie's ability is you must discard a stadium card in play to use this card. If you do, your Zygarde GX may use its GX attack even if your GX counter is already flipped. So essentially, you can reuse your GX attack over and over and over again as long as you have Bonnie and a stadium on the board. Not as hard as people think it is, because we actually play some decent stadiums, and your opponents play stadiums as well, and you can discard your opponent's stadiums. So Bonnie, very cool, because it keeps our Zygardes immune. And even though your opponent can Guzma around Zygarde, it's definitely not bad, because your main attacker with all of its energies is still alive. So even if they take a different knockout, your main attacker is alive, and then you just attack again, and hopefully you can constantly reuse Bonnie. It's not as hard because we do play a heavy count with 5 stadiums in the deck as well, and that's not counting your opponent's stadiums that you can discard. So overall, pretty cool supporter, making our deck very interesting. There's a plan. Sorry if you guys can hear that. Hopefully it's not too loud. We are playing, as far as our tools go, 3 Floatstones. I want to make a 4, but 3's gonna have to do for now. 1 Belt, just because 240 XP is nothing to laugh at, but we mainly want to use Choice Band. The damage output is just too good. We are playing 2 Parallels because Parallel is Parallel and Parallel is great, and 3 Brooklets. It also gives us a stadium to play in the deck as well, and 3 Brooklets because all of our Pokemon are basic fighting Pokemon, so having the Brooklet around is very strong. That's really it. Like there's nothing to really explain here. I mean, it's self-explanatory, to be honest. That's our stadium and tool line. I want to play more belts, but the Choice Band has just proven to be way too good. I was thinking about making a 2-2 split, but the Choice Band is way better. IMO. But the band is there to prevent knockouts, and that's always good. As far as the energies go, we're only playing 2 strong energies, only because we can't accelerate strong energies onto our Zygarde using its attack. So there's no reason for us to play that many, because we really want to have a lot of basics. That way we can put the basics in the discard pile easily to accelerate our Zygarde much easier, because we want to use that first attack. That first attack is nothing to sneeze at. It does do a lot of damage, and if we can accelerate those energies, turn 1, then we are set, because the following turn we can start hitting for even more damage. And of course we are playing up for DCs. So overall, energies are self-explanatory. The deck itself is self-explanatory. It's very strong. It does have, so the Sylveon matchup's not as bad as people think it is. I was talking with somebody who's like, what about E-Hammer? It's like, well, you just accelerate again, because like they can, if they E-Hammer your DCs away, you just accelerate again, because like, what are they gonna, unless they get rid of all your energies at the same time, it's not a big deal. It's usually not a big deal. Or you can just reattach another DCE and then start using a GX attack. If you can get a decent setup against Golisopod, you can just try to chain your GX attack as much as you can, taking knockouts while also being immune to a Golisopod the following turn. Really the only way around it is like Ranger or Escape Rope, and that's a card nobody's playing. I don't think Zygarde's gonna make people start playing it, but we'll see. If it does really well in a tournament, you never know. The other, what are some other issues with this deck? I'm just trying to think. I mean, like, you do have a lot of Pokemon with fat retreat costs. So if you run out of Guzmas or you run out of like float stones or stuff like that, it could prove to be problematic. That is something that I found to be kind of an issue. That was my biggest worry against Sylveon, is they kept counter catching me and I kept having to find another Guzma or another float stone and stuff like that. What else is there? Are there issues? Of course, you want to set up. The biggest issue is trying to get that turn 1 setup. But I have found that the whole discarding your energies turn 1 is not as bad or as difficult as it seems. And of course, having your Diancie Prism prized has been an issue I've seen that does turn games completely, because that Diancie Prism damage increase is so important. But overall, Zygarde, very, very, very strong deck. Definitely one that you should all be trying out once the set comes out. Definitely give it a shot. It is 100% worth it. But that's going to be the deck, guys. Don't forget to like the video if you haven't already. We already talked about it in the beginning, but hopefully we can do more Zygarde versus Ultra Necrozma. And then in the future, we'll start doing Zygarde versus other decks, Ultra Necrozma versus other deck. But I do have the next 2 decks that I want to try out kind of lined up already. I just have to build them and see how they perform. They're pretty interesting. So yeah. Be excited for next week's videos, but we're definitely going to be doing more battles of these. Hopefully we can record them. Hopefully we can upload them. It all depends on your support, guys. So don't forget to like the video if you haven't already. Answer the comment question of the day, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.